What's going on, friends and family of YouTube? It is your man Mike, and welcome back to another edition of Mike's Tech Talk. As always, I am your man Mike, and what I have for you guys today is, as you see, I got the iPhone XS Max here. Love this phone, been my daily phone for a while now. I have always had this phone in my pocket since I got it, and but we're here to see if this thing is gonna get dethroned because I have with me, ladies and gentlemen, the iPhone XR. Yes, the cheap iPhone. I finally have it in my hands. 128 gigabyte, product red. Got the red Apple logo. Now, y'all saw the comparison video of the red iPhone 8 Plus. I did enjoy that phone a lot when I had it. I love that phone very much. So, had to get the red XR. So, before we open it up, let's talk about a little bit of the specs real quick. Just because the specs aren't really that important nowadays. You really and truly they're not, but let's talk about it anyway. So with the iPhone XR, you have 3 gigabytes of RAM. You have the A12 Bionic chip processor, and you have the Neural engine. You have a single camera on the back of this as opposed to the dual camera on the XS and the XS Max. You have an LCD 720p screen versus the 4K HD screen on the XS Max and the XS. Now, what does that mean? Because this is 4K, that's 720p. It just means that the quality of the screen, the resolution is not going to be as high as you'll get with this one. But to be completely honest with you, you're not going to notice it. You're really not going to notice it unless you're just a video file looking for it. Most of the time when you look at a YouTube video, it's not even in 720p anyway. So don't let specs be the reason why you decide not to get something. Seriously, like, take it from me. I try to do this stuff. I do this type of stuff like all the time. You know, this is kind of my thing. And I can tell you that for $1,250 for a 256 gig version of this, compared to $900 for a 256 gig version of this, you're not going to lose. And that takes me to the most important spec of this device, which is the price. The price. Ladies and gentlemen, the price is right. $1,250 for the XS Max and 256 gigabytes. Now, of course, you get that screen, so that, you know, you get that OLED screen, 6.5-inch display, and you can't really beat the screen if you want a big screen phone, but this is a 6.1-inch screen. So this technically makes this the little brother of the XS Max. It makes it bigger than the iPhone XS, which has a 5.8-inch display, but also makes it smaller than the XS Max. So another thing that you have is when you take the XS Max and the XS, I gotta pop this out of the case to show you guys what I'm talking about here. You see the side of this phone? It's just stainless steel. That's stainless steel on the side of the phone. That's what gives the phone its weight. It gives the phone a little bit of its heft, aside from just the massiveness of the phone itself. So, stainless steel on the side of this phone. The XR is essentially an 8 Plus with an iPhone XS screen. That's literally exactly what it is. It's an 8 Plus with the XS screen. So no Touch ID anymore, only Face ID, but you do have glass on the back, glass on the front, aluminum on the sides. So, specs aside, talk about price. iPhone XS starts at $1,000. The 200 for the 64 gig, 256 gig model goes to $1,149, and for the 512 gigabyte model, that takes you up to, I believe, $13.99. Don't quote me on that, but it's somewhere in that price range. I do know for this one, it starts at $1,099 for the 64 gigabyte. This one, 256 gigabytes, is $1,250, and the 512 gigabyte variant is $1,500. So $1,500 for 512 gigabytes is the max on this. iPhone XR starts at $749.99 for 64 gigs. I got the middle child, which is the 128 gig, and that's only $799. So think about that. $50 more and you double the memory. Most people aren't even going to burn through 128 gigs on a phone in a year, unless you're taking a bunch of 4K video and you're taking a bunch of pictures all the time. But most of the time, you're not even going to burn through 128 gig. All of my old iPhones that I've ever had, from the 7 to the 7 Plus, were 128 gig, and I never had an issue. I'd be on the road taking pictures all the time, and I never had an issue with that. So that's why I chose the 128 gig. This may very well become my new daily driver. But let's skip all the rest of the stuff that I could say about this phone, and let's go ahead and get to the best part, which is the unboxing. Alright guys, so let's just take a quick overview of the phone. Now you see this is the iPhone Product Red 10R. Now, I just want to do a quick shout out to Apple because it's not often since the Product Red has launched that we get the Product Red phone in the beginning. Most of the time, Apple releases the Product Red device afterwards. So to actually get the Product Red from the jump, that's awesome. That's really amazing. So shout out to Apple. Now, for those of you interested in the 10R, if you want to know more about it, this is the colorful phone this year. Some of you may remember the 5C from several years ago. Well, this is the upgraded version of the 5C per se. So you have red for the first color, black, white, yellow, coral, which is kind of an orange pinkish, and blue, which is kind of like a baby blue, powder blue. So those are the 6 colors that are available with this device and this phone. So I'm going to put my information in, I'm going to get it set up, and we'll check it out. All right, guys, so we are back. Got the phone unboxed and everything, and I got it all set up. Now, I put it side by side with the XS Max because I wanted to show you guys a little bit of the size comparison between the two. So XS Max in the hand is definitely a big phone. Now, I'm not a big guy, but I do have what I consider big hands, and the XS Max is a big phone. But the 10R is almost perfect. You know, it's almost the perfect size in the hand. I like the aluminum sides as opposed to the stainless steel. It's personal opinion, but I like how the stainless steel, I like the weight of the stainless steel, but I like the aluminum a little bit better just because I feel like the aluminum a little bit more lightweight. I like a light phone. I don't like a heavy phone. If I go running with this phone, if I, do anything with this phone, I prefer a light phone. I want it to have a light profile in my pocket. But putting them side by side, you see that the 10R is just a little bit shorter than the XS Max. And you see it's a little bit thinner, or should I say as far as the width goes. It's got a little bit less of a profile on the width, and it's about the same size when it comes to how thick it is. Stainless steel version is a little bit thicker. Now, let's talk the screen for a second. Now, when you look at the screen on this phone, this is an OLED panel. You can tell by the viewing angles of the device. You get no color shift when you view it from different angles in low light or in sunlight. That's one of the things about an OLED panel you can tell. Also, you can tell it's an OLED panel because you can see at the top, the notch blends in because of the rich blacks. Now, what OLED means is, like, I go to settings, you see how the notch appears. We go back to the home screen, you see how it leaves. Let's go to another thing that's got a little bit of a dark color. Go to the music app. I tell you what, let's go somewhere black like stocks. There you go. See how you can't see the notch anymore? What OLED is essentially each pixel is illuminated once the screen is on. So therefore, when you're looking at this wallpaper, all of these pixels here, all of these pixels on the wallpaper are currently illuminated. All these blacks, the reason why they're true black is because they're off. They're not even on at the moment. That's why they look the way they do. That's why it's such a rich, deep black when you look at it. With LCD, you get something different. Now, let's unlock the phone. I'm going to look at it so I can get Face ID. Make sure I capture it for you guys. So we'll get Face ID. Like I said, this is basically an iPhone 8 Plus with a 0.6 inch bigger screen from the top to the bottom and no home button. So if you can live without the home button, you'll be fine. So let's do another app like stocks. Okay. Now, we'll try to focus in and see if you guys can take a look at it and see it for yourself. Now, you can kind of see a little bit of the color shift. Okay, and try to get it a little closer so you can see a little bit better. All right, so you see how you can see the black, but you can still see the outline of the notch? That's because this is an LCD screen. LCD means the entire phone, the entire screen is being lit. It's a backlit display. So what Apple attempted to do with this device is what they call the liquid retina display. So it's just an upgraded version of an 8 Plus display. I personally don't mind. I think it's going to look fine when you look at the phone altogether. I don't see any issue with it, and I don't think it's going to be that much of a difference compared to the OLED screen. So we'll see how that works out. Now, product red, red stainless steel, black front. This is a dope. Nope, took a screenshot by accident. This is a dope phone. Offhand, this is a dope phone. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to take a real quick picture here. I'm going to take a quick picture of the box. Show you guys what you get with the camera. Now, matter of fact, we'll take a picture of this controller here. Now, this is just a point and shoot photo. Let's pull that photo up. Okay, I got it. I'm going to explore. Okay, now you guys might not be able to tell 100% of the detail in this shot, but if you haven't noticed, like I said, the XR has a single camera on the back. Now, what do you lose with this single camera on the back? Portrait mode with this device is going to be a lot different than it is with the XS and the XS Max, mainly because portrait mode on this device is only going to lock on to a person. As you can see right there, it says no person detected. So if you're the type of person like me who likes to take a portrait mode shot of your really nice headphones, or a portrait mode shot of, you know, something you see outside, like a nice tree or a nice waterfall or anything like that, it's not going to give you the same effect. It has to be a person in the image for this device in order to get the portrait mode effect. But, you know, you sacrifice when you have a single camera versus a dual camera. So let me get these phones both wiped down real quick because the fingerprints are killing me. That's what happens when you have glass back phones. You get fingerprint prone devices. Highly recommend cases on your devices. As I've always said, don't go bare without Apple Care. I do have Apple Care on this device, and I'll more than likely be getting it on this one as well. So let's give this one a wipe down real quick as well, so we can kind of get some of that glorious red again. So just a quick unboxing of the device, show you guys what you're going to get. Offhand, who is the XR for? You know, I can answer that question right now. If you have an 8 Plus or a 7 Plus or a 6S Plus and you're looking to upgrade sometime this year, check out the XR. I really don't think you'll be disappointed. I think if you can live without the double camera setup, you'll be just fine, especially if you're coming from the 6S. Now, if you're coming from a 7 or an 8 Plus and you are used to that double camera setup, you like portrait mode and that's your thing, then go with the XS Max. But really and truly, it comes down to the longevity of the device. This is Apple's new phone. Understand, this is the new phone. The XS Max and the XS are exactly what they are, the S models. If you have a 10 from last year, there's no need to upgrade to a XS Max or a XS, or even a XR. There's just no need for it. If you have an iPhone 8, 7, 6S Plus, you don't know if you want the XR, I would say go with the XS for the long term. It's a little bit more of an investment, but the materials that are used in this phone and the features you get in this phone with the camera as opposed to this one do make it worth the extra money. Now, both the XS and the XS Max, the prices are crazy high, but when you break that down over 24 months or 30 like AT&T and you finance the device, it's the same cost as going to Chick-fil-A four times a month. So look at it like that. Anyway, you guys hit me up in the comments. Let me know what you thought about this. Make sure you hit that like button, share, and subscribe. I will be posting a case video on this device tomorrow, so be looking for that. Hit that notification bell so you know when I post that. And this has been your man Mike. I don't know where that came from. Excuse that little twang. But this has been your man Mike, aka MTT2. Mike's Tech Talk. I'm out.